Right. Lil Wayne said he was treated like shit. This is bad news at the Lakers game against the Wizards last night. He thinks it's due to what he said about AD needing to be traded. I low-key agree with him with that sentiment.
What did he mean by treated like shit, though? Like, what happened?
Let's read the post. He said, wow, got treated like shit at the Laker game just now, but I figured they do me that sooner or later, either because of what I said about AD or simply because they don't fuck with me, which I been got that vibe from him as well. So all good, I get it. Fuck him. If it wasn't what it isn't, okay, that I'm used to it.
So he said something about AD needing to be traded.
He ain't even there. Okay. And half the season ain't even there.
Okay.
We're gonna be all right.
Are you going to be okay with Anthony Davis?
Anthony Davis.
Quite.
I mean, now I'm gonna keep it real. If you ask me, man,
I am.
You ask me,
Real.
If the Lakers want to be a championship team, and the future as well.
Yes.
You got to get rid of AD.
Woof. Got to get rid of AD.
Got to get rid of AD
Because
he AD.
You got to be able to explain.
Plain and simple. Because,
Okay.
you don't
health-wise.
Because
you don't want to criticize that because that's a health. It's whatever it is.
Right.
okay.
You know, because you don't want to say he's soft. You don't want. So whatever it is AD. So because that's his makeup and that's who he is, and he's shown us that. And the only time I guess we haven't been shown that was in New Orleans. And we like to say the bubble championship. Man, no, man, whatever. He showed
Level.
He's not necessarily wrong.
Nah, he been following AD though since the Pelicans.
He's not necessarily wrong.
I wish he went into more detail because it's a lot that could be said without using the whole soft thing if you want. But when you say somebody's soft, you're not talking about him personally. You just say on the court like he is.
That's what he mean.
Soft
He
in
mean
a
soft
basketball
like Rudy
sense.
Gobert, soft.
Yeah.
He's light, man.
Yeah.
From being these bigger
It's
guys.
European basketball.
These bigger guys, though,
Yeah.
are not as big as some of the centers like Shaq and them were.
Or
Because
dominant.
European ball,
Or
because
as
they
dominant.
Coming like really running to the rack, really moving niggas
It's
out the
'cause
way.
niggas like
It's
that.
Gasol type basketball. It's very,
See what it
off
is
the,
once you begin with niggas like Curry, and there was so much shooting going on in the court, you had to spread the floor. You no longer really needed a big ass nigga who could just stand down there. You need
you're gonna
stretch.
a
but you,
kind of facts,
It's a stretch.
kind of tall nigga who
Stretch
can
five.
still
but you
defend,
always
who
need
can
that
cope, who
dominant.
can
This
make-
is the
not no
Lakers.
more.
It's Showtime. You always need that dominant big man in the middle. I disagree. You want the dominant big man to be able to shoot, but you definitely still need a dominant big man on the Lakers team, in my
How to
opinion.
really run it to the rack,
Yeah, that's just you
like
feel
and
me?
move everybody's scared. They know
Without
he's
getting
coming.
injured.
What it is
Elbows
Yeah.
moving.
Right.
I
They
was just
already
saying
know he's
niggas is
fucking
not
shit
as
up.
big
Without
no
getting
more
injured.
because you had to get smaller so you can close out if a nigga comes out, shoots that three, and you have to be able to guard. You feel me? You have to because everybody's shooting the ball.
I never
So you
seen that
had to
type
be
of
able to get
basketball played
smaller.
until Paul Gasol was on the Lakers. That was my first time seeing the Lakers have someone of that height playing with that type of
And it worked.
disposition.
And it worked.
And it worked, but it don't work for everybody. With AD, I definitely feel like he could be a more physical, dominant player. But every time he does get physical, he gets injured. That's why they call him street clothes.
Yeah, I don't think
because
he's
he's
so
always in
much
his street
soft.
clothes on the bench.
I don't think he's so much soft.
jumper
You
sports
feel me? Because he
can
do
come
be
back.
doing the shit here and there. I think it's more so that nigga's like paper mache. You breathe on that nigga and he get injured.
I mean, he gets hurt more than D Rose, not as sustainable injuries.
Facts.
Like, yeah,
that nigga's injured every other fucking month. So it's just like, you know.
Yeah.
Wait,
No,
John.
but-
But
But
to
he
treat
can't
Wayne
move.
like shit because he had an opinion about it on ESPN.
I feel like
is
he needs
fucked
to
up.
elaborate though. What does
you
like
mean?
shit mean? Like what exactly happened?
Maybe he didn't get escorted to his seat properly, or they could have been slow with the ball, or anything.
they ignored
going
him.
on.
Yeah, like, what
Security
happened?
could have gave him a hard time.
He didn't say.
Talking shit though, like counts. Like for example, right? Like that's like me going to let's say like a Buckhead, right, and expecting right like an astounding right like an astounding welcoming. No, right? Because if you talk shit, expect shit. So like if he's talking shit about a Lakers artist, a Lakers player, and the Lakers don't fuck with you for that, then like, who fault is it? You know? Again, these niggas is trying to be commentators, but are not right. But like for example,
If I pay for my seat, if I buy the tickets and you take my money, I want to be treated fairly, regardless of what I've said about this team or a player on this team. Rather, if you accept my ticket money, treat me with the same respect you're gonna treat everybody else who paid this ticket money. And I'm sure he sat on the floor.
I just want to know exactly what happened. You know.
yeah.
A nigga can't just say they treated me bad and then.
Oh, you want some examples?
Yeah, like nigga, what you mean they treated you bad?
Well, I thought he said racism don't exist, so we know it's
This
not
is what
based
I'm
on
saying,
race.
and this is why I'm saying, what do you mean by treated you? And what's so crazy that you said it? The first thing I heard the first thing I said in my head is, what do you mean, Mister? The police ain't never did nothing to me before, Mister. Like, what do you mean they treated you badly?
Well, he experienced it at the crypto.
Oh, I bet you if you was a rich ass white man and you said something about them, they still would have. They wouldn't give a fuck.